Well, the plan to close the US prison in Guantanamo Bay includes transferring 35 prisoners to other countries. The Pentagon says the remaining 60 inmates can safely be held in the US, though that's always been a sticking point with Congress. The White House estimates up to $500 million will be needed to carry all of this out. Well, human rights activists have long slammed Guantanamo Bay, where most prisoners are held without trial. Some have allegedly been subject to torture, and the closure plan is Obama's latest attempt to keep his promise to shut the facility down before he leaves office. Well, for more on this, let's cross live now to RT's Gianni Chikian. Gianni, I think you can hear me now. Does it look like, do you think that President Obama will finally be able to fulfill his promise then at closing down this facility?
Well, he very much hopes so, of course. A current law makes closing Guantanamo almost impossible without congressional approval. The U.S. Congress made it illegal for President Obama to bring remaining Guantanamo detainees to the United States. The plan that President Obama sent to Congress is meant to convince them to review that law.
The plan we're putting forward today isn't just about closing the facility at Guantanamo. It's not just about dealing with the current group of detainees. This is about closing a chapter in our history.
Some lawmakers have already offered their feedback on the president's plan. Senator John McCain, who at one point wanted to close Gitmo, called President Obama's plan flimsy. House Speaker Paul Ryan dismissed it, saying, quote, "Congress has left no room for confusion. It is against the law, and it will stay against the law to transfer terrorist detainees to American soil. We will not jeopardize our national security over a campaign promise." End of quote. That was from Paul Ryan. This could be President Obama's last chance to fulfill one of his earliest promises. And what adds urgency to this closing the infamous prison is the fact that some of the leading presidential candidates indicate that they're willing to go in a completely different direction. Take a listen.
And when I'm president, we are going to have a real war on terror, not this fake war. And if we capture any of these terrorists alive, they're not getting a court hearing in Manhattan. They don't have a right to remain silent. And we're not shipping them to Nevada. They're going to Guantanamo.
Clearly, Gitmo serves a useful purpose. We shouldn't bring those kind of terrorists here because automatically we start getting to arguments about their rights that we don't have to deal with at Gitmo.
I would bring back waterboarding, and I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding.
Ran for office 7 years ago, there was an understanding in the society that Guantanamo hurt U.S. national security. It still serves as a recruiting tool for terrorists and undermines U.S. standing in the world because it shows a disregard for human rights and due process, everything the U.S. is advocating to other countries. And with the spread of ISIS and with the candidates saying what they're saying, who knows, maybe in a few years under a new president, Guantanamo will begin to admit new inmates.
OK, thanks, Gianni. That was RT's Gianni Chikian there, live from the US.